confession. In that last clip that you saw, I hadn't showered in over like 5 days.
5 days. 5 days.
I go through periods of time where I just don't want to do a goddamn thing, nor do I want to assume adulting in any shape, form, or fashion. But I've come to realize that the only way to get out of that rut is by actually taking charge and doing something about it. That living that way just isn't plausible for the fact that I'm trying to get things done and I want to live a fulfilled life with purpose and meaning, and also and I also want to be sure that I set an example for my son, because I can't have him watching me just be in this pit of sadness. Although granted, it is really hard sometimes to get myself out of a rut, I do have a few things that I do that do help either prevent it or me staying in it for too long. Because we've all been there, sitting, watching TV for hours and hours on end, or just sleeping for like 12 to 24 hours or 48 if you get up and take your breaks to eat and go back to sleep. Here are my few ways that I get out of a depressive slump. Also, in no shape, way, or form am I saying that I'm a mental health care professional. This is all advice that I'm giving to you from things that I've tried myself and have worked for me. If you are going through it, make sure to check out the links that I left below, or if you're in a serious crisis, be sure to call 911. When I'm going through a really depressive slump, the last thing I can think of is getting up for absolutely anything, because all my body really wants to do is just sleep into nothingness. But I have to remember that adulting is a thing and that I can't stay in bed forever. So the first thing I do is tell myself to get the fuck up and shower. Now this is something that is really sometimes so difficult, because I go into these phases where either I don't shower for a really long time, or if I do go in the shower, I never want to get out. But once you're actually in the shower and cleaning yourself and you get out, it's like you were reborn into this new life. I don't know, it just changes your mood completely, or it just always changes my mood. It makes me feel like a brand new baby gazelle that just came into the world and needs to start pouncing. And the minute I start putting on my makeup or planning an outfit out for the day, even if I'm not going anywhere, it's an accomplished feeling. It's like I did something, you know? Even if it's not much, it's an accomplishment in itself. Once I'm ready, and I gave this advice in the last video that I did, if I have nothing to do, and especially since there really is nothing to do as of late because of coronavirus, the next thing I like to do is go out and take a walk, or just go outside and sit outside like I'm doing right now. I like to take in the fresh air and soak in the ambiance and get some vitamin D. Literally stood outside this morning to have a banana and just stand in my driveway. Honestly, I don't know why I did that, but it made me feel better, and it made me feel like I actually got to see something. I don't know. I can't honestly stress enough how much walks have helped me, or just being outside in general, whether it's going to the mall or taking a drive or just being out in something other than four walls has gotten my mood from being too slumped to like a whole brighter and hey, there's something for me out here kind of aspect. It's something I could recommend for literally everyone, just because once you take your shower and you're up and running, your mind's already thinking, all right, I'm up and dressed. What do I do now? Is that a bee? Sitting outside was a really bad idea. When I'm down and really out of it and I don't want anything to do with anyone, or I'm just going through the day trying to make it through, I hate when someone tells me, why don't you just do something that'll make you happy? Or why don't you just go find something to distract you? Or it's not that hard, just why?
Why?
Think of something good, or think of some. I hate when people tell me that. That is the most annoying thing to hear, and it is so repetitive because no one wants to be in a depressive slump. And of course, if I could be happy, I fucking would be happy, but it's not that simple. So the next thing that I like to do, even if it seems a little bit unorthodox or weird or completely out of pocket, is sit down for an hour or two and just let myself be sad. I like to either watch a movie that gets me really sad and gets my emotions out, or I like to listen to extremely melancholy music. Honestly, I feel like my whole playlist is just super sad or depressing music. Or I like to just go outside for a drive and just be in my thoughts and cry. I have a love-hate relationship with crying because I don't like to cry in front of people or just cry in general, but then when I am crying, I feel like this sense of relief and like I just like let out all these emotions and like let out all the pain and like residual childhood trauma that I've had like boiling up inside me for Lord knows how long.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would.
It's just something that literally helps me, and I feel like instead of compiling all that stuff inside of you and just letting it seep there, I feel like it's better to just let it out. Not everybody has a good support system around them. Going through depressive slumps is probably the worst thing to do completely alone. And this is why I highly recommend that if you can, get a good support group. And this isn't possible for everyone, and I know that for me especially, it was not ever really possible. I mean, I have my boyfriend, but friends are completely non-existent, and it's just usually just me dealing with my own mental health by watching videos online, because videos online are my only friend, or watching Instagram. Those Instagram models are my best friends. They just don't know it yet. Any healthcare professional usually recommends is to have like a friend group or have people to reach out to. And I know that this is like a cliche thing, especially if you've heard it a million times, but being honest with the people around you, the things you need or what you feel like will help you when you're going through these depressive episodes will definitely get you into a place where you're less isolated and have a way to manage yourself when you can't manage yourself, if that makes sense. Also, if you're someone like me that hasn't had that base core group, there are many things online that they have nowadays with mental health resources and apps. So I would definitely do my research on that stuff if you are feeling to that point. And like I said earlier, if you guys are in a funk where you feel like you really need some professional help, be sure to reach out. Don't ever be ashamed to reach out and get the help that you need. So last but not least, this one is probably kind of like a slap to the face after that advice that I gave that says to just be sad, but it's not really, because it's kind of like a reprogram your brain kind of situation. I like to do affirmations, and it's not like, oh, let's do holistic healing and do yoga. I don't honestly, I will never be one of those people that do yoga because it's just how? Like,
How?
I feel like a big thing is reprogramming the way you look at things day to day. And I mean, as simple as even brushing your teeth and telling yourself, hey, I like how this makes my teeth feel, or I like how this makes my breath smell, or hey, I like that this toothpaste has 3 colors on it, and it's kind of cool how when you squeeze it out of the tube, the colors don't mush all
together and they stay kind of one solid piece.
Just something so mundane and so simple that you would normally find no joy in is something that you should try to find happiness in. And that's basically an homage to finding joy in the small things in life. And if you practice it enough, which honestly, I try, it's very difficult. By the way, I should have disclaimed even this, that this advice is extremely difficult to follow. But once you get into this routine of pointing it out or saying it out loud during the day over anything, even if it's the smallest thing, with consistency and routine, you'll start having a much more optimistic outlook on your life. This isn't to say that all this advice is gonna magically like make you feel better or cure you from depressive slumps, because they happen to everyone. I know how difficult it can be listening to someone else give advice and say it so confidently, because it's so much easier said than done. But like I said in the last video, you're in control of your own mind. It takes so long to take initiative for absolutely anything, but once you do, it'll change your perspective and life for good and for the long run. You just got to keep reminding yourself that you don't want to be like this forever, and that you gotta, just like anything in life, if you're working out or doing anything, you gotta stay consistent and take yourself in about it. I hope this helped, guys, and if you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know what you guys do to get yourselves out of depressive ruts, or when the last time was that you actually showered. Don't lie. Here's your dose of some serotonin.
Manatee County Fair, Linda Carson, ABC 7. Would you not eat my pants? Ah!